Hi there, Alec at vacuumspot.com.au, showing you how to pull down a Dyson DC08 Radix assembly. Actually not sure what I'm going to call this video because it really could be how to improve the suction on your Dyson DC08. So with that in mind, I'm just going to quickly show you there are only two real causes of suction loss in these machines. One is your filters, the other is your Radix. So because I just used this machine to replace a motor, the filters are going to be just fine, but anyway, for the point of looking, here's your exhaust filter. This one is less likely to be the problem. But if you've got this all black and covered in carbon, you'll want to change it. They're only, I don't know, 10 bucks, something like that, and they will help your suction. The other filter, I'll just pop this one back in. The other filter is up here. This is where your most likely cause of suction loss is. Even if you wash this from time to time, when you hold this up to light, you really need to be able to see a shadow through it. If you can't see through it, the light anyway, this is not going to be letting enough air through. So if you've got suction loss, just swap out the filters. That's a really good start. The other thing is our Radix assembly. Okay, so now this one I actually cleaned so that I didn't have to work with a dirty unit. But I'll show you how to pull it apart and put it back together. Now this here, I don't know what it's called, but if you just grab hold of it, give it a squeeze and push, that comes off. Inside here we've got 3 screw holes. Okay, I'm using a number 15 Torx driver. I'm sure you can get these on Amazon or eBay or wherever for not much. Now here, if you're in between cleans, you can air compress this and it does the machine the world of good. But this is not where you're going to run into your main problems with blockages or anything like that. At this point I'm just going to turn him over. There are 2 screws inside the handle assembly, just to either side of the rear part here. Okay, now to get this off, you've got to use sort of a 2-phase action. You lift up here and you push that forward. Sometimes you can just do it with your hand, but if not, just a little screwdriver in there and just edge it forward. That comes off, revealing the other screw that you're going to need to take off. Okay. So now you just get a screwdriver down the edge and just lever around. If it hasn't been removed in a while, that will be a little bit stiff. And this is our last 2 screws. So just look around the edge. These are normally covered in crap, but whatever you do, don't wash it yet. There's a gasket in between these 2 layers that you don't want to wet. So just there's a slightly larger gap here than here. Look for that larger gap and that'll show you where the screw is even if you can't see it. So now turn this over. The lid part will just come straight off and we can see the manifold assembly. Take the manifold off apart from the gasket, just a small screwdriver, that'll lift off. Now this is where you're going to have build-ups inside here and in and around here. Now all of these parts, once you remove this gasket, can be washed. Everything that we've pulled apart is washable except for this. This here will warp and dry not quite right and you'll end up creating blockages rather than getting rid of them. So take this out, wash it all around, make sure you get in all the cracks. Same on this side. In here, if you've got a bad blockage, you'll actually have these holes plugged up. I've seen as many as half or 8 of these. I got an email the other day where a customer said they had nearly all of them blocked. Here, you'll have material and muck which you want to wash out, and inside your this rubber gasket, just clear it all. The cleaner it is, the better, but it is going to suck up dirt, so it doesn't have to be so clean you could eat your dinner off it or something crazy. just get rid of all the muck. So now to reassemble, once it's all perfectly dry, you can't assemble this when it's even a little bit wet. It has to be totally dry. Manifold back on, cover back on. Put this one screw in now. That just holds that lot together. Turn him over. We find the two larger holes here and here. This is much easier if you have a magnetic screwdriver or a screwdriver that you just magnetise. You can see this isn't perfectly clean. There are bits of muck on the edges. That's fine. That's honestly not a big deal. Okay. Now here, you'll notice you've got your three inner tubes in the shape of a triangle. I've never paid attention as to how, without trial and error, to pick. There you go. When you get it right, it sits in. 3 more screws go in. Now I can assure you, if you've removed any material from inside here, and particularly a blockage in one of those tubes, the performance difference, once you reassemble this and it's all totally dry, is quite dramatic. Filters, my opinion, change them every couple of years. That just pushes in, like it literally, you just put it in place and then just give it a good squeeze. And to put this back in, you line up there's little guides here, corresponding with a groove here. That goes in first, and then as you're lifting this, push that, and that'll lock into place. Okay, so because I've got a nice clean bench and no screws left over, I know this has been a pretty good repair. Now if you've cleaned your Radix assembly, changed your filters, I guarantee you'll have a much stronger sucking machine. Another great tip from Alec at Vacuum Spot.